Construction sites are incredible places. Towers rise out of nothing. But they're also environments where the stakes are unbelievably high, where just one tiny mistake can lead to disaster. So today, we're going to build something a little different, a rock-solid understanding of how to prevent the most common accidents on a job site. And to do that, we have to start with a really important question.
So let's get right into it. What are the things that safety professionals see over and over and over again? What are those three most common paths that turn a regular workday into a tragedy?
We're calling these the foundations of failure. And that's because, just like a cracked foundation in a building, these critical mistakes are what make the whole structure unstable and ready to collapse. Let's dig into the first one. Okay, hazard number one, unsafe scaffolding. Think about it. When you are working dozens or even hundreds of feet in the air, your life literally depends on the platform under you. It's an absolutely essential tool, but when it's not put up right or taken care of properly, it quickly becomes one of the biggest dangers on site. And you can see the difference is just night and day, right? On one side, you've got missing guardrails, a wobbly base, maybe some big gaps between the planks. That's not a work platform, that's a ticking time bomb. But on the other side, a structure that's fully planked, has secure access and a stable base. Well, that's not just a nice to have. It's the only thing standing between a worker and a catastrophic fall. Now, moving on from the big structures to something much more personal. The next big failure is all about PPE, or personal protective equipment. This might seem like basic stuff, but you would be shocked at how often this fundamental layer of defense is either missing or just plain wrong. And look, it isn't just about having some gear. It's about having the right gear for whatever you're doing. A hard hat doesn't do you any good if you're not wearing it where there's overhead work. Same goes for steel-toed boots when there's a risk of falling materials. Honestly, you should think of your PPE as your personal armor. Showing up without the right stuff is like walking into a battle totally unprepared. And our third foundation of failure, this might be the one that gets overlooked the most, poor housekeeping. I know, it's so easy to just say, it's a construction site, it's supposed to be messy. But the reality is, a disorganized site is an unsafe site, period. Just look at the difference. A walkway cluttered with tools, loose debris everywhere, that's not a workspace. That's a minefield of trip and fall hazards. A well-run site, on the other hand, keeps those paths clear. Materials are stacked and organized, and waste is put where it belongs. This is not about being neat and tidy for the sake of it. It's about actively getting rid of unnecessary risks before they can hurt someone. So there you have it, our three big foundations of failure: unsafe scaffolding, the wrong PPE, and poor housekeeping. Now, each one of these is a huge hazard on its own. But what if they aren't the real problem? What if they're all just symptoms of something bigger? Let's really think about this. We can see the wobbly scaffold, we can spot the missing hard hat, but are those individual slip-ups really the root cause, or is there something deeper going on that allows these things to happen in the first place? And that question brings us to the hidden hazard. We need to look past the obvious physical dangers to find the systemic issue, the one thing that connects all these other mistakes. And here it is, the lack of proper training. This is the real issue at the core of it all. See, when workers aren't given the knowledge to even recognize what a hazard looks like, or they don't have the skills to do their job safely, then mistakes aren't just possible. They are pretty much inevitable. An untrained worker might not even know what safe scaffolding is supposed to look like. They might not understand why one type of PPE is crucial for a certain task. This right here is where the foundation for failure is really poured. Okay, so if a lack of training is the real problem, what on earth is the solution? Let's flip this around and talk about how to build something positive. Let's lay out a blueprint for safety, for creating a truly secure construction site. This blueprint really rests on three main pillars. First up, implement proper controls. And we're not just talking about some rules in a binder. We mean checklists, daily inspections, clear step-by-step procedures that are actually used every single day. It's the system that makes doing things safely the default. Second, active supervision. This means having leaders out there on site, engaged, not just watching, but coaching and making sure protocols are followed. And last, but honestly, this is the most important one, building a strong safety culture. This is where every single person on site feels responsible for their own safety and for the safety of everyone around them. It's a shared mindset, not just a command from the top. When you get right down to it, all of this boils down to one simple, powerful truth. Most accidents are preventable. Safety is not about luck. It's not a roll of the dice. It is the direct result of making proactive choices, investing in consistent training, and having a commitment that starts at the very top and is shared by every single person with boots on the ground.
Which really leaves us with one final crucial thought to chew on. A real safety culture isn't something you can just print out and put in a binder. It's built every single day through actions and shared values. So the question is, who's actually responsible for building it? Is it the company, the site supervisor, or does it really come down to the choices made by every single worker every single day?